hey, there's Iron Caster, and I thought that for a change, maybe I should actually try and produce a video. So I figured that since I'm trying to talk more about big robot stuff, it might be a good idea to talk about one of the comics that I happen to be reading that is along these lines. And really, what better thing to talk about and cover than one of the best selling books out right now? So for this week, it's Transformers #5 from the Energon universe. Image is absolutely knocking it out of the park with this so far. I guess I'm kind of putting it ahead of time by saying I recommend this because this is off to a good start and what I feel like is a fine enough place to start things for anyone kind of new and old to Transformers. This is like cover B. This is kind of showing you a little idea of what to expect. We've got the Decepticons in the middle of reassembling their forces in at this point in the comic, and really it's a good tease with this cover, I think, to show off like, hey, some big green bots are kind of coming down the road. Hey, maybe check this out. Da da da. But I want to kind of go into this, and I figured this would be something a little experimental for me to try out. So let me know what you guys think about me doing this sort of thing here, because maybe we'll do some more of it. But to kind of get into it a little bit, I think Daniel Warren Johnson is absolutely knocking it out of the park with this book. This is this is getting back to basics, some of the very familiar stuff to sort of an early season 1 of Transformers, as we'll kind of get into in the book. Obviously, I'm not going to show everything off. I want to see you guys go out and pick this up. I recommend this. Absolutely pick this up to get that out of the way. Real quick, let's acknowledge the fact that we also have Mark Spicer as our colorist, which I gotta say, I don't have a problem with his color choices. I think it's absolutely working for this. Daniel Warren Johnson is, of course, doing the art, and it's that same kind of what I would kind of describe as, at times, it's almost a kind of urban graffiti. It's very kind of it's harsh and contrasting, but it's so fluid and full of motion. I think he absolutely is working for this book. Of course, you're seeing our little parallel with like Sparkplug and Optimus to kind of get right into it. You've got them kind of showing just how very similar they both are. They are these soldiers who've been at war for years and years, and having some very similar experiences. Hey, shout out to my boy Blaster here, who unfortunately we see is getting blasted. Them's the breaks, but maybe we can see him come back. And what I can only assume is going to be Prowl. Like I think we're seeing what happened to Prowl, but we'll be getting into that as we go. And there's really just something of like, I love the use of the use of darkness here. This is the fading down. It's such an emotional piece where hey, as it turns out, you can easily have a character with no mouth giving off plenty of emotion. Funny how that works, huh, Hollywood? But I mean, this is it's a quiet little moment here where we're getting to see these two soldiers talking about their tours, about how long was it, how long have they been there, and how are they able to handle it all, move forward. And you would think that, and so Sparkplug thinks that, hey, Optimus, who's been this bot at war for like millennia, might have all the answers, but he doesn't. You would think that if just the passage of time was enough to give you all the answers, then he should be the wisest one around. But in many ways, he's no different than Sparkplug. And I think it's a really good way to kind of set the tone to show the weight of war. Outside of just, yes, showing the killing, but I'm really liking it here. we've got more of the Decepticons doing their stuff, and this is this is my favorite moment this is up there. It was part of one of my favorite moments in the book, where pose where we have the Decepticons are trying to rebuild their forces, and let me bring this in. This might be a bad idea. So they're trying to rebuild forces, and Soundwave is like being the strategist. He's gonna try. He cares most about his little cassette tapes. He's gonna try to rebuild them. And Starscream's like, no, not the little ones. No, we need the useful combatants. This is the idea of just him kicking Ravage out of the way, like. But it's going to show you just who these characters are. Starscream is someone who's going to absolutely do anything and everything he can along the way to get what he wants. He will not hesitate to rip apart his own seekers, his own brethren, in order to survive. And then he's going to turn around. He's going to even use that lie of what happened to his advantage. That is who Starscream is. He is a survivor. He is the conniving little worm of a bot who's going to do what it takes to survive. He'll beg and fight and any dirty little trick he can just to survive. But I mean, it's great and all, and it's great kind of seeing our threat for the issue building up. We have new bots like my boy Thundercracker. Thundercracker's back. I love him. He was actually handled pretty well in the IDW stuff, which I don't want to sit here and simply say that it's it's to go read that, which I would recommend that, but I want to see what we can do with these characters going forward. Just like in here we get Reflector back, who's one of the classic bots, the classic G1 bots. He's our camera, our little camcorder. It's kind of like, I guess, duct tape to the bottom of Starscream, which they're bots, whatever. It works. We can totally let him just hang out in the bottom. That's fine. Although we're not really getting to a ton of the size change stuff. Like, we don't have Soundwave changing into a cassette tape and loading up into one of them or something. So I'm wondering if there's a reason why they did that, other than just to like say, hey, yeah, the Decepticons could totally fly. That might be, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that is kind of something to point out. We're getting a little bit more there. We're seeing the Autobots are meanwhile kind of finding ways to build up their own energon sources, and they've got this big old turbine thing, which is, this feels like a good little piece, kind of pulling back to the to sort of the G1 era, because you would have all these little adventures of the week, like we're gonna go and find green natural ways to build up energy, and they're gonna turn around and say, well, we could then turn around and use this to help out the humans. So you have this potential to show where, maybe having these Cybertronians around can have this net positive for the humans, while they're using it to go and rebuild their forces. Like we got Wheeljack is back. We have RC coming back, which, oh god, that's a good piece. I like this one. And just to kind of flip around here a little bit, we can't have the Autobots having too good of a time, so we gotta turn around. We gotta have them fighting. We gotta have all the action going on. This is that dynamic motion I was kind of talking about, sort of this kind of graffiti art sort of look to it that really pops for me. Like, just Optimus with the arm cannon here, just blasting them to pieces. You could just feel the effect, and it's so exciting to see the action going on. You want to see the bots do damage. And just to show one or two last pages off here, we got my boy Jazz back. I love this. The comics keeps going, and I guess to kind of wrap up, this is well worth the read, I think. I want to point out, like, this leaves on a cliffhanger that is going to lead to one of the biggest fights for the Transformers. I don't want to give too much away, so Go read this for yourself. Get back to me. Let me know what you think. And I'll check you guys later. Peace.